This episode of CU Live is brought to you with support from Stoff's Coffee Roasters. Since 1988, Stoff's has been offering specialty coffee hand-roasted right here in Central Ohio. Stoff's is also a proponent of meaningful community conversations, whether online or in person. Visit their website at stoffs.com for the latest information on their locations, or to order online and enjoy a cup of Stoff's while you watch this episode. Hi, welcome to CU Live. My name is Walker Evans. I'm the co-founder of ColumbusUnderground.com. Joining me today is Brandyn McElroy, community activist here in Columbus. Brandyn, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. Wanted to talk to you a bit about sort of a fun topic. You mentioned that one of the things that you've done kind of during the pandemic and COVID that's filled up some time is write a book.
Yeah. It's been great.
Yeah.
I'm not a writer, ironically, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I applaud you for taking, the dive headfirst into something new.
For sure.
I think it's what a lot of people have hopefully tried to do if they've had the time and the opportunity. Your book is on a very serious topic, though. Can you maybe give us a little bit of your backstory?
Sure. So the book is a kind of a sequel, if you will, to my wife's initial book.
Oh, okay.
Hers was Faith Beyond the Cycle, and so this one is Support Beyond the Cycle. So my wife and I kind of suffered through infertility for the majority of our beginning of our marriage. Suffered 3 miscarriages in that process, and so what we found was there's a big community of folks out there in this space, and a lot of people are suffering. A lot of people are suffering silently and not really knowing what to do. So that's kind of the basis of this book. My wife's was towards the ladies, and I was like, hey, you can't leave the men out. We're in this with you.
Right.
So that's really what it's based on, is helping the men to get through each step, and it's kind of a 30-day process of, hey, here's something to read and keep yourself encouraged.
Nice. What spurred the idea behind wanting to put this into a book format? I feel like everyone during the pandemic starting a podcast.
Yeah.
Is that the reason you didn't do a podcast? Because everyone else is doing a podcast?
Right. No, that's actually really good. I'm not a writer, so it's something that I wanted to try my hand at. Watching my wife go through the process was kind of interesting. She used a lot of our conversations and things that we have talked about to formulate this book, and I was like, all right, well, maybe she can do it. Maybe I can do it too.
Yeah.
So I stuck to it.
It's good to have a role model.
Yes, yeah, she's definitely that. Yeah. So I kind of stuck to it and said, hey, well, we'll see how it goes. I sent it off to the editor, and I was like, please don't send back any painfulness. Just tell me where I need to correct it.
Yeah. What did that look like from a time commitment? Because I think for a lot of people, you think about writing a book, and it could feel easily overwhelming. Was it something you kind of chipped away at a little bit at a time? How did you set a schedule for that sort of thing?
So I kind of put in my mind that I wanted it to be done by November of last year. So I was like, if I can get this done, then it would be a good space. I almost made it to November deadline. I officially finished it, I believe, the first week of this year, 2021.
That's not bad.
It wasn't too bad.
That's better than George R.R. Martin and the Game of Thrones books. He takes, 10 years?
To write it through. No, I don't think I just chalk it up as that. So we made it almost on time.
Nice. So the process then after that, you send it to an editor, they send it back with revisions, and then you've got to do some more work?
Absolutely. They send it back with revisions, and we are kind of in that final stage of putting the book together and what it's going to look like. I've got some graphics coming on now for the cover and all, and hopefully have it out by late spring, early summer. Nice.
So what does does it entail? Any sort of unveiling or book signing event? What does the publishing world look like right now?
That's really a challenge, right? One of the big challenges is my wife's book came out right at the beginning of the pandemic. So it was like we did the first book signing and then everything shut down. That's going to be the challenge going forward, is really kind of getting out and marketing. But again, we have such a huge community out there of folks that are suffering through this that it actually, the conversation flows pretty well. So we have some media set up already and kind of hidden it at this moment, but as soon as the book is ready, we'll unleash it and kind of share it from that point.
Nice. This is probably an early question, but has the process led you to want to do this again? You think you'll write another book, or are you done, bucket list checked?
I will. And it's going to be a children's book because we did have our daughter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In 2019, she was born, but she was born at 23 weeks and 5 days. So we spent about 127 days in the NICU.
Wow.
And so that also inspired me to write some children's books about the NICU and the little ones that make it and the little angels that unfortunately don't get to go home immediately, because I want my daughter to be able to read about her story and some of those that we met through that journey, because we actually spent 2 NICUs, one in Pittsburgh and then finally life flight at home here to Columbus. So that's my next project, but I want to get through this first one.
Yeah. No pressure. No pressure yet. Cool. Well, definitely keep us posted once the book goes on sale. We'd love to share links, for people to check it out.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and any sort of like local book signings, because got to give love to the local bookstores too.
Yes, definitely want to do that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.